You're sitting at dinner with your oldest friends, the ones you've known for years, maybe decades, the ones who knew you before everything changed, and you feel completely alone. They're talking about the same things they've always talked about, the same complaints, the same gossip, the same drama, and you're sitting there realizing, I don't relate to this anymore. I don't care about this anymore. I've changed, and they haven't. You try to share what's going on in your life, the book you're reading, the therapy breakthrough you had, the new direction you're taking, and they change the subject, or they make a joke that dismisses it, or they look at you like you're speaking a foreign language, and you go home feeling more lonely than if you'd stayed home alone. This is one of the most painful, least talked about parts of personal growth. Sometimes you evolve past your friendships. Sometimes you change and they don't. Sometimes the people who knew you best become the people who understand you least. Today we're talking about the loneliness of outgrowing your friends, how it happens, why it hurts so much, what to do about it, and how to navigate the grief of losing people you never thought you'd lose, not through conflict, but through growth. Because here's the truth, not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let them go. Let's talk about what happens when you evolve and your friends don't. Why it happens. Personal growth changes you fundamentally. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. You've done therapy, you've read books, you've had experiences that shifted your perspective, you've worked on yourself, you've healed trauma, you've set boundaries, you've become intentional about your life. And that changes what you tolerate, what you find interesting, what you value, how you spend your time. You stop wanting to gossip because you've learned that talking about other people is a distraction from your own growth. You're more interested in ideas than in people's drama. You stop complaining without action because you've learned that you have power to change your circumstances. Complaining feels like wallowing now, not connecting. You stop accepting surface-level connection because you've tasted depth. You've had conversations that changed you. You can't go back to small talk when you know what real vulnerability feels like. You stop numbing out. Whether it was drinking, shopping, or endless Netflix binges, you've learned healthier ways to cope. And when your friends are still using those old patterns, you feel out of sync. You stop tolerating toxicity. You've set boundaries with family, romantic partners, coworkers, and now you're noticing that some of your friends are toxic too, and you can't unsee it. You start investing differently. Your time and energy become precious. You're selective about where you spend them, and friendships that drain you without filling you up start feeling like bad investments. This isn't about becoming superior, it's about becoming different. And when you become different, the people who knew the old you sometimes can't meet the new you. Maya's story, the realization. Maya had the same friend group for 15 years, 5 women who met in their 20s and did everything together. Vacations, birthdays, weekly dinners, group texts all day, every day. They knew everything about each other. They'd been through breakups, weddings, pregnancies, career changes, everything. They were her people, her sisters, her constants. But in her late 30s, Maya went through something that changed her. She won't specify what it was, just that it was hard enough to send her to therapy. And therapy opened doors she didn't know existed. She started doing the work, processing childhood trauma, understanding her patterns, learning about attachment styles and codependency and emotional regulation. She devoured books on psychology, spirituality, personal development. She changed, fundamentally. The way she saw herself, her relationships, her life, all of it shifted. And when she tried to share this with her friends, they didn't get it. They'd make jokes like, "Oh, here goes Maya with her therapy talk again." They'd dismiss it. "You're overthinking everything, just relax." They'd change the subject. "Anyway, did you hear what Sarah's husband did?" Maya would try to have deeper conversations about meaning, purpose, healing,
and they'd stare at her blankly or redirect to surface-level topics. She started noticing things she'd never noticed before: how much they gossiped, how much they complained without changing anything, how much negativity dominated their conversations, how much they enabled each other's unhealthy patterns. She'd suggest they do something different for their girls' nights: a workshop, a meaningful activity, something beyond drinking and talking about other people. They'd say she was being too serious, that she'd lost her sense of fun. Maya felt like she was screaming into a void. These women who knew her better than anyone suddenly couldn't see her at all. They knew the old Maya, the one who gossiped and complained and numbed out with them, the one who engaged with drama and avoided depth. But the new Maya, she was a stranger to them, and they wanted the old Maya back. The breaking point came at their 15-year friendiversary dinner. Maya had just had a major breakthrough in therapy about her relationship with her mother. It was profound, emotional, life-changing. She was so excited to share it with her friends. She brought it up, started explaining what she'd realized, and one of her friends literally rolled her eyes and said, "Can we not do the therapy thing tonight? This is supposed to be fun." Maya went quiet. She smiled, she changed the subject, and she got through dinner. And she drove home knowing, "I can't do this anymore. These aren't my people anymore, and I don't know what to do about it." She'd read articles about outgrowing friendships, she'd heard people talk about it, but she never thought it would happen to her. Not with these women, not with 15 years of history. But it had, and the grief was overwhelming.
How do you know if you've outgrown your friendships, or if you're just going through a phase? Here are the signs. You dread spending time with them. It used to feel energizing, now it feels draining. You make excuses to skip events. You feel relief when plans get canceled. That's a sign. You can't be authentic around them. You edit yourself. You don't share what's really going on in your life because they won't understand or they'll judge. You perform a version of yourself that they recognize. That's exhausting. You feel judged for your growth. They make comments about you being too serious or changed or not fun anymore. They want you to stay who you were. That's limiting. Your values have diverged. What matters to you doesn't matter to them. How you spend time, money, energy, it's all different now. You're moving in different directions. You leave feeling empty, not filled. Good friendships should nourish you. If you consistently leave feeling depleted, criticized, or misunderstood, something's wrong. You have nothing to talk about anymore. The conversations feel forced or surface level. You're no longer interested in what they're interested in. The connection feels gone. You're growing and they're stagnant. This is the hardest one. You're actively working on yourself, they are not, and you're moving at different speeds. You feel lonely even when you're together. This is the telltale sign. Physical presence, but emotional absence. You're in the room, but completely alone. That's when you know. So what do you actually do when you realize you've outgrown your friendships? First, grieve. This is a real loss. These are people who meant something to you, who knew you, who were there for chapters of your life. Losing them, even through growth, is painful. Let yourself be sad about it. Second, stop forcing it. You don't owe anyone your time or energy out of obligation or history. If the friendship no longer serves you, you're allowed to step back. You're allowed to let it fade. Third, create distance gradually. You don't need a dramatic friendship breakup. Just slowly pull back. Respond less frequently, decline more invitations, let the friendship naturally fade, rather than forcing a confrontation. Fourth, find your new people. This is crucial. You need community, just different community. Find people who are on a similar growth path. Join groups, classes, workshops focused on personal development. Show up in spaces where evolved people gather. Fifth, keep the door open but set boundaries. You don't have to cut people off completely. You can stay connected in smaller doses. See them less frequently, keep conversations lighter, love them from a distance. Some friendships can survive at a different level. You go from best friends to occasional friends. You maintain the connection without the depth, and that can be okay. Sixth, don't make them wrong for not changing. They're on their own path. Their pace is their pace. They're not bad people for staying where they are. They're just not your people anymore. Release them without resentment. Eighth, prepare for backlash. When you pull back, they might get upset. They might accuse you of thinking you're better than them. They might try to guilt you. Hold your boundary anyway. Ninth, trust that you're making space. Every friendship you release makes room for new connections. You're not losing relationships, you're curating them. You're making space for people who match who you're becoming. Jessica had the same best friend for 20 years, since high school. They'd been inseparable, done everything together, knew each other's families, were in each other's weddings. But in her early 40s, Jessica started therapy for anxiety, and therapy led her to books. Books led her to workshops. Workshops led her to meditation, and slowly she transformed. Her best friend thought she'd joined a cult. Every time Jessica talked about meditation or therapy or personal growth, her friend would mock her. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. You're becoming one of those people. Remember when you used to be fun? Jessica tried to share what she was learning, tried to invite her friend on the journey with her, but her friend wasn't interested. She was happy where she was, and she wanted Jessica to stay there too. The friendship became painful. Jessica would leave every hangout feeling criticized and misunderstood. She'd try to be authentic and feel judged. She'd tried to connect deeply and get deflected to surface topics. Finally, Jessica accepted, we've grown apart, and that's okay. It doesn't mean the 20 years didn't matter. It just means this friendship has run its course. She started pulling back, seeing her friend once every few months instead of weekly, keeping conversations light instead of trying to go deep, loving her from a distance. And Jessica started intentionally building new friendships. She joined a women's personal development group, started going to yoga classes and staying after to chat, shown up at workshops and introduced herself to other women there. It was awkward at first. Making friends as an adult is hard. It felt forced, uncomfortable. But slowly, she found her people. Women who spoke her language, who valued growth, who had depth, who energized rather than drain her. 2 years later, Jessica has a completely new friend group. Women she's known for a fraction of the time she knew her friend of 20 years, but who understand her better than her friend of 20 years ever did. And yes, she grieved the old friendship. She still thinks about her old friend fondly. They still exchange occasional texts. They're not enemies. They're just not close anymore. Jessica told us, I had to let go of who I was to become who I'm meant to be, and that meant letting go of friendships that were tied to the old version of me. It hurt, but staying small to keep people comfortable hurts more.
Here's the hardest part that no one warns you about. There's a lonely period in the middle. You've outgrown your old friends, but you haven't found your new people yet. You're in between, and it's isolating. You see your old friends posting pictures together, and you feel the sting of exclusion, even though you chose to step back. You watch them continuing on without you, and you wonder if you made a mistake. You go to events alone, trying to meet new people, and it feels awkward and forced. You try to build new friendships, and it takes so much more effort than it did when you were younger. You have moments of intense loneliness where you wonder, is growth worth this? Was I better off just staying where I was? Here's what women on the other side want you to know. Yes, it's worth it. The loneliness in the middle is temporary. The friendships you build with people who match your current values and consciousness are deeper, richer, more authentic than what you left behind. And you can't get to those friendships without going through this lonely middle period. It's the cost of transformation, and it's worth paying. Stay the course, keep growing, keep seeking your people. They're out there, and when you find them, you'll understand why you had to let the others go. Here's what I want to ask you today. Have you ever outgrown a friendship? How did you know? What did you do about it? And where are you now? Or are you in the middle of it right now, feeling the painful realization that your friends don't match who you're becoming, wondering if this is judgmental or if this is real growth? Share your story in the comments. This is one of those experiences that feels deeply personal and isolating, but it's actually incredibly common. You're not alone in this. And hearing other stories might give you permission to make the changes you need to make. Because here's the truth, you are allowed to outgrow people. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to seek deeper connection. You are allowed to curate your life, including your friendships. You don't owe anyone your presence out of history or obligation. You don't have to stay small to keep people comfortable. You don't have to dim your light to make others feel better about not growing. Growth is supposed to change you. That's the point. And sometimes that means the people who loved the old you can't meet the new you. That's not your fault or theirs. It's just what happens when one person transforms and another stays the same. Grieve the loss. Honor what those friendships gave you, and then release them with love and move forward toward people who match who you're becoming. Your people are out there, the ones who speak your language, who celebrate your growth, who challenge you to be better, who see you fully and love what they see. You just have to be brave enough to make space for them by letting go of what no longer fits. Next time, we're diving into something equally challenging, how to handle it when your family doesn't support your growth, because outgrowing family is even harder than outgrowing friends. Until then, keep growing, keep evolving, keep trusting that the right people will find you when you're ready for them. You're not too much, you're not too serious, you're not too deep. You're just finally becoming who you were always meant to be, and that's worth the loneliness in the middle.